always available.
Mm-hmm.
You have to sleep, but let's say that let's say that normally is the best quality that you can have it to be really available and patience and for sure you don't have to bring your problems at work. This for sure.
And how did you build trust and trust between you and your clients? How can we do that?
I guess it's question of time.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end, you always respect and do what your client asks you to do, and you propose the good investment. Means that you really propose something that you think is good for the client, not because the bank is gaining some money, but because you think it's good for the client. Then I guess it's important also the bank is gaining some money, because for sure we are not coming. I get a salary, so it's normal. But at the end, I guess in years you can really take the trust of the clients, and you see that maybe at the beginning give you let's say just say 1 million, then maybe in a few years you discover that this client has much more and they to bring you much more assets because they trust you or she.
If you had one piece of advice for students who want to pursue a career in private banking, what it would be?
But already, I guess they did a good choice to come to IUM, because I have to thank IUM to find me the first of all that I got, I guess, some knowledge that was very important. And then they allow me to enter in private banking in Monaco, because they gave to me the first contract with the first bank. And but let's say again, I say the same thing that I already said. So really to be the client is to be really at the center of your interests. So means that you have to be available for them, and they have to feel it that you are there for them. So this is your time. So give your time much more that you can. Then for sure you can have a family and.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Maybe if audience has some questions.
Yes, we have received the questions. Thank you very much, Andrea, for answering the questions and for asking them, Estela. We have a question from Matteo, who is with us tonight. Actually, there are several questions, and the first one would be for you, Andrea, because he wants to know. He asks, how did your clients react to the high volatility during the COVID crisis?
It's quite surprising, because let's say that it was really easy to understand that the market went down a lot. So sometimes it's more difficult to explain.
I got a call.
And difficult to explain. Sorry again. I come back. Okay, sorry.
Yes.
So sometimes it's quite difficult to explain to the client that the volatility of the market and the performance, for example, a bad performance of the portfolio. But with the COVID, it was quite easy to explain, because it was in front of everyone. So we didn't have so much problem.
And how did you reassure them, actually? Did their asset allocation change significantly during that last year, or?
Sorry, Andrea, can you
repeat? Actually, Matteo wanted to know, how did you do to reassure your clients? And he wanted to know if their asset allocation changed significantly during the 2020 year.
Let's say that there were really most part of they kept the same asset allocation, and it was a good move, because at the end, after the drawdown in March, in March, they recover, so they recover everything. someone increased the equity position. So it took the opportunity to increase the equity position. And so it was a good move. So let's say that for me it was more an opportunity than others. So yes, it's a good question. So I think someone, yes, take some the opportunity to invest even more in equity.
Okay, thank you very much for the answer. We have Ludovico with us. We would like to know how are you coping with ESG in private banking at CMB?
Yeah, so it's very important theme. We have a discretionary mandate that invests just in product that really follow the ESG ratio. And we have also, I guess we were the first bank in Monaco to launch this. We had a fund that is in stocks since, I guess, I don't want to be wrong, but maybe at the end of 90s or maybe at the beginning of 2000, I don't remember, sorry, in stocks that invest in that is called Eco Plus. So it's really on an ecosystem. So in all the stocks linked today to ESG. So it's, I guess we have the discretionary mandate and also a fund to cover this thematic. Then for sure you can find some ETF, you can find some funds in the money in all markets.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I think we don't have any further questions from the participants, but I think an interesting question would be for Estela too, who is currently with us, because we asked many questions to Andrea. But one question maybe for you, Estela, would be to understand also why you looked at IUM for your master in finance. Why did you decide to come to us to do it? Because you're doing it right now, so it's a good insight also for our attendees tonight.
Yeah.
Because I was seeking for, sorry. Let's go.
I reply? No.
No, because
Stella, sorry, Andrea.
I saw it.
You can reply to.
But you can reply afterwards if you want to.
Of course, ladies first, but after Andrea, you're ready to welcome.
No, ladies first. Ladies first.
Okay, so that's why, because I was seeking a master which combine technical knowledge and also a more practical knowledge. I think it's really important today and nowadays. We have to be multidimensional people, and I think IUM can provide it for us students, and also for its international aspect. I would like to speak English and I would like to learn more about other countries and other things which can happen in finance and international finance also.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Estela. And what about you then, Andrea?
Okay, so but I guess is but today I read that IUM is really one of the best schools in the world. So this can be a reason. But I remember that I looked at the time 2009 to a master in finance in private banking, so really in wealth management, that could match all the aspects of this job. And I could find something better in Europe. So for me, it was easy to find IUM. Then maybe US, maybe you can find US or in London. But for me, it was obvious to come here. I was near to my house, you know that I come from Italy. So it was easy to come here. Was a good choice.
Good. Thank you, Andrea, for this insight. We have a question from Ludovico, who is actually one of our current bachelor students, so expecting to go for the master, I guess. So Ludovico asks, why private banking and not asset management, wealth management, private equity, or investment banking? other than the relationships that you can build with your clients, as you already mentioned. So why did you go for private banking instead of any other specialty, Andrea?
Yeah, because of this reason. So I like the part of the relationship with people. So so this is why I choose this. I would like to match these two aspects. So just not finance in front of my computer, but also really relationship with people.
Okay, so that's really the reason, because you would like to know if there is another thing, because I imagine that it tries to understand what his path will be. So maybe you can give an advice how to decide actually about the specialization you want to undertake in when you enter the financial industry. How do you decide if you go for asset management or private banking or private equity? What's the hint, the tip?
Yeah, so yes, the tip I guess is up to you as your behavior, like what you think you are the best to do. I think my best. I not think I'm a genius, so maybe I'm not the Warren Buffett for sure. Then I'm good. I'm good with in the relationship with people, and so I decide to study finance, but to have most contact with my clients, even not because at the end our job. I didn't think before, but you know that our job, most part of our job is not about it's not just finance. It's really to take care of the client and 100%. So maybe they call you just because you need a transfer to do to her daughter, or so we do something. Sometimes we do something very, very simple. Asset management, I say that you have to, is more complicated if you think about finance. So and you have to meet the client too, but less, and you have to have more knowledge how to allocate a portfolio and to so it's different. So I guess is the answer yes, is you have to look at you, what are you best to do, and you decide.
Okay, thank you for the tip. It's almost time to end the session, but maybe Gregory, before we finish, maybe you have a question you would like to ask to Andrea too, or something you want to add?
Yeah, well, Andrea, it's been now quite a few years since you left. And in particular, when you look at the early part, right after the master, with insight, now that you know what you know, and think about this new generation coming soon to the market, is there a particular advice that you would give them about how to make a transition from this student life to going and working really?
Yeah, so it's quite hard to answer. So you mean really the transition between the study in IUM and the job?
Yes.
What? Yeah. So let's say that you have to be the first suggestion that I can give. You have to be very at the beginning very humble, because it's true that we learn a lot in IUM, really technical, also to manage some portfolio, to allocate the assets. But at the end, it's true that when you start when you enter when I did my first experience, you have to be very humble, because you start to do really simple task, and but if I guess you are competent and you remember what to study, and I'm sure that in years you have to be patient and humble, and then you arrive to your objective. I don't know if I
Yes, you do. I share, of course, this perspective. Very often, students completing a master's feel like, they're at the end of the road of a learning curve, but in fact, they're just starting. And the next learning of, the implementation of everything they've seen, but also everything they have not seen because they've not been confronted to the reality of what the different jobs really require, also is a different learning. And you have to go there by there, like you said, very humble and ready to learn, sometimes for years, before you can hope to really get to where you want to go and do what you really are passionate and what you really want to do. So
exactly. At the end, Gregory, it's true that when I started in 2010. I was in Safra, and then the first thing that I did, I passed the day to do just transfer, so it was quite boring. But let's say that at the end, in 3 years, I get the opportunity to manage my first portfolio of clients. So as you said, if you are humble, you are ready to learn every day, and I'm sure that in a few years you arrive to do what you like to do.
Thank you so much, Andrea.
We have a bonus question. We have a bonus question actually for Andrea from Ludovico. An interesting one actually. He wants to know if there is any internship position currently available at CMB in private banking.
I have to ask. I will let you know. For Ludovico, I will let you know. Okay, so actually, Andrea, maybe you can let me know, and I can let Ludovico know, so that it's nice. So our alumni are our best ambassadors, and sometimes they can give a hand. So yes. With pleasure. If I'm not the RH in the RH department, but I can ask with pleasure. Thank you so much, Andrea. You're welcome. Well, this is the end of our webinar already. It's time to end this. So I would like to thank our participants tonight, all our attendees who were with us, and also, of course, our panelists. So thank you very much, Estela, for being such a great interviewer, and Andrea for being such a great interviewee. And thank you very much to all of you. And hope to see you soon on campus. Well, Estela, we see you, but Andrea, let's come and visit whenever you have the possibility. And to all our attendees, we look forward to welcoming you in Monaco very soon. Thank you and have a very nice evening.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye to everyone.
Bye.